Weekly Wheaties 2403. Goal setting, new technology, Beli app. No resolutions, just goals. Now that we're 3 weeks into the new year, I would like to admit something. I am not big on New Year's resolutions. I never have been and don't think I ever will be. I have nothing against those who do. I guess it's just not for me. A few newsletters back, I talked about the importance of forming habits over trying to get streaks. I still stand by this. I think it helps more physically and psychologically. What I can get behind that falls into the resolution space is goal setting. I do think it's important to have goals you work towards that allow you to review what's been accomplished. Think of this like the common saying you've heard before. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Well, goals are similar as they happen in small pieces over time. I've talked a lot about AppSumo in the past, but their founder, Noah Kagan, shared a great example of his goal-setting process a few years ago that still rings true. He explains the differences between numerical goals, system-based goals, and progress goals. I'm also not big on numerical goals, depending. That said, I would like to share 6 of my goals for this year. 2 numerical, 2 system-based, and 2 progress goals. First, to keep the trend going from last year, I want to publish 50 newsletters this year. This allows 1 newsletter a week going live on Monday mornings or Sunday evenings for paid subscribers, with 2 weeks of flexibility. I have tons of topics I'm ready to write about, but try to leave flexibility for hot topics or common questions I receive. That said, if you have anything you'd like my take on, simply reply to this email. It's always appreciative. Next, after watching one of Airrack's videos on YouTube, I had a crazy idea. I wanted to try to eat 52 different countries' cuisines over the year. After looking around my area, I'm not sure that many will be possible, so I have instead decided on 30. So by the end of the year, I hope to have not only eaten at 30 different cuisines, but also tracked it. I will try my best to log all the restaurants I visit here. Weekly Wheaties Food Tour of 2024. I also cheated a bit while on a work trip and knocked out a few early. In regard to system-based goals, I want to try to keep the same ones I had for last year. Quite simply, work out 3 times a week on average, whether running, biking, playing golf, pickleball, or something similar. Put simply, this means closing my exercise ring on my Apple Watch. The other one includes reading and or learning something productive every day. This could be personally or for work. It's typically accomplished through reading books, listening to podcasts, or watching YouTube. I still track my system-based goals on TickMate, which I talked about on my first newsletter. Also, note, this doesn't have to be anything crazy that gives you a headache trying to understand something new, just something positively productive. This helps me keep from being completely unproductive and mindlessly scrolling all day every day. Moving on to my first progress goal, it is simply growing my newsletter audience. There are tons of ways to do this, but I am typically terrible at self-promotion. There are a few things I have in mind for this year. We'll see how it goes. To start, I would appreciate you forwarding this to anyone you know who may find it useful. If you don't find it useful, I would appreciate any feedback that may help reach a larger audience. To quote one of you, this newsletter could hopefully still be described as technology news for those adverse to technology. My audience, not technology nerds like myself. They can be, and I do know a few like me who have appreciated my take on things, but my hope is to describe and explain more difficult technology thoughts to those who aren't into it. Lastly, before I share my final goal, a quick story. One of the groups I'm in where creatives help and give feedback to other creatives, someone pointed out that over the last year I wrote 50 newsletters at an average of 1,000 words. Doing some quick math, that's easily over 50,000 words for the year, which is actually more words than are in my book. I always said I only had one book in me, but over the last few weeks I've been working on a new one. I don't know how much I'm ready to share as the title and outline may change. But rest assured it's in the works. My final goal is to simply write more as the year goes on. I don't want to put a number value on it because this is something that is last on my priority list right now. Just remember, when moving forward with a goal, building the habit is more important than the streak. What are some of your goals or habits you hope to keep for the year? In case you missed it, out with the old, in with the new. Last week, CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, debuted in Las Vegas for their yearly show. Since there are thousands of products shown we'll still be hearing about over the next few weeks, there's no way I can keep up with everything. Instead, check out CNET's favorites, these transparent LEDs and weird gadgets from TechCrunch, including some AI binoculars that identify birds. The Apple Vision Pro is available for pre-order on January 19th and will be available on February 2nd. There will undoubtedly be plenty of reviews in the weeks to come, but don't look for me to share much. This has a very niche market as it's priced at $3,500 and probably somewhat limited in the current state in regard to software. I also get headaches wearing AR or VR headsets, so I won't be able to provide first-hand feedback. A revamped version of the Tesla Model 3 is now available in the US, after being unveiled back in September. There are plenty of new features to note, but I'm here for the air-conditioned seats and the suspension upgrades. When the refreshed Model Y is available, I may be tempted to put my Model S up for sale. And no, I don't plan on buying a used one from Hertz, who is selling off 20,000 electric vehicles from their fleet, including some Teslas. They note high repair costs, but understand this is only for damaged vehicles, not upkeep from maintenance. These vehicles are still under warranty. The crashes and repairs are arguably small damages from people still not familiar with how to use them appropriately. Microsoft WordPad finally gets sunset in lieu of an updated version of Notepad and a more powerful counterpart, Word. Pro tip here, there's a free version of Word available at office.com. Don't forget about two other text apps in the Microsoft world, OneNote and Loop. Sportico shared how the NFL leads TV viewership with the 93 of the top 100 streams of 2023, totaling roughly 2 billion views. Sports in general may rule the airwaves, but let this stand as a reminder that in the digital world, YouTube rules. It's only a matter of time before streaming becomes dominant, if not already. For example, Mr. Beast had close to that many views in just the last 30 days alone, and close to 20 billion views in all of 2023. Late last year, Netflix released their own version of a real-life Squid Games, but guess what? Mr. Beast did it first. Not to mention, that's just one of thousands of YouTubers. Pick of the week, Beli app. To add a bit more to my goal of trying new cuisines this year, I'll be tracking all spots through the Notion link shared above. However, I will also be logging all of them in the Beli app as best I can. I found this while researching food apps for tracking restaurants and finding new ones, and really like the layout and user interface. It offers many features, including adding notes, pictures, reviews, and even noting places you'd like to try. Its shining features, though, are allowing users to follow others and receiving personal recommendations. This is very beneficial when traveling to a new city. However, it takes some input on your part before its algorithm can help. Download it on the App Store or Google Play at beliapp.com. Weekly Wheaties is a reader-supported publication. To receive new posts and support my work, consider becoming a free or paid subscriber. See links for the above items at weeklywheaties.com.